we should be ready to start without too much effort.
Go, guys.
Are you nervous? I'm nervous.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to Dirt, Sweat, and Gears, where I am buried alive by my own ambition. We are here with my 1989 Honda Prelude, and in this video, we're going to take a break from all of this insanity to go on a bit of a road trip. If you've been following this channel, about a year ago, I went out to Riverside to help my friend Ricky, along with my friend Alex, to do a motor swap on Ricky's rebuilt engine. I had actually given this engine to Ricky about a year before that. He gave me a case of beer for this engine. I thought it was totally toasted and I did not need it, and I just wanted to help somebody out. And a year ago, Alex and I went over to where Ricky was keeping this Prelude, and we put this rebuilt motor into the car, but we didn't finish the job. There's some things left to be done. I don't think it's a lot, but it was a long time ago. I don't remember. This could be really, really bad. This could be really, really easy. And my Prelude also isn't without its own concerns. I just picked it up out of storage a couple of weeks ago, where it sat for roughly 6 months while I worked on the Maverick to get it ready for the San Marino Motor Classic. Now I have the Prelude and I'm getting it ready for Japanese Classic Car Show. I took it on a drive with my friends over at Classic Canyon Cruisers, and after a bit of spirited driving through the canyons, I noticed that the rear end of the car was kind of wandering a little bit. I got it up on jack stands, and that's when I realized that my back tires were completely hammered. They were flat. They were drag slicks. I had no traction on actual roads. It was actually very dangerous to drive. So I got a brand new set of tires, put them on the car, and haven't driven the car since. My test drive is going to be 75 miles out to Riverside. Let's pick up the camera, and I'm going to show you just quickly what the condition of the Prelude is at, and then we're going to hit the road. So the Prelude is largely untouched from when I put it in storage. You see, I have brand new tires on here. These are Bridgestone Potenza RE71RS, and I'm really looking forward to driving on these. I did a minimal amount of research. I had Potenza RE71Rs on here. Not RS, Rs, plural of R is Rs. Now I have Potenza RE71 Rs. So I got the same tire, but they're slightly updated for 2025. But they're a different tread pattern, but they are just as soft as I remember. They're just freaking awesome tires. I think they look great on this car, and I really think that that's going to solve all of the problems that I had. But if I look at the tread and get some light on there, there is like no wear whatsoever. I haven't heat cycled these things once. I haven't driven even an inch on these tires. So that's a little bit of a concern considering I'm going 75 miles on my very first drive, but it should be just fine. Another concern is that it looks like this wheel is slightly kicked out even though my steering wheel is dead straight. So is this one turned in? No. This one looks straight. That one looks kicked out a little bit. So I might want to, oh boy. Yeah, it's kind of obvious when you look at it at this angle. I think I want to get the four-wheel steering alignment pin in here, center this up and see where we're at, because I might need to adjust the rear toe a bit. So this is the bolt that comes out of the steering rack. As you can see, this one is stripped out, but it's been slotted to take a screwdriver. I believe the original size for this is a Torx T50, but I could be wrong. As I screw it in, the plunger is going to kind of come down like that. There you go. And if you give it a pull like that, it'll help you thread it in. So now with the tool installed in the rack, we can put the car on the ground and find center. We're going to have to rock the car back and forth a little bit in order to get the suspension settled, because once you pick the car off the ground, you unsettle the suspension, and that makes doing an alignment basically impossible. We're really only worried about toe here. We're not going to worry about camber or caster because I just don't have the tools for that. And we're probably going to use a string for the toe. I do have toe plates also, so we can get this thing zeroed out or slightly toe in. So as I was turning the wheel, I probably turned it a little bit too fast, but you did hear the pop and the rear rack is centered. There's a little bit of play in the steering wheel, but the steering wheel is more or less centered. It's actually, yeah, it is more or less centered. So the next thing we're going to do here is get our toe plates and our identical measuring tapes, and we're going to line this up so that we can hopefully zero this out. You know, in general, it's not a bad thing to have a little bit of toe in, but we definitely have toe out on this rear. So we're going to adjust it. You can see here, we can see 67 inches. It's almost exactly at 67 inches, and here it is, well, past it. It might even be up to 3/8 inches off. So we need to adjust this. That doesn't necessarily mean we adjust only that one side, because this side may be out of sync as well, but this one appears to be, this one might be where we want it to be honest. To make the adjustment here, this is a 19mm lock nut. I'm going to back this off a little bit, and then we're going to turn the steering arm. Steering arm, I want to say is a 14, but I could be wrong. This steering arm is indeed a 14. So we need to bring it in, which means since it's at the back, we need to push it out. So to push it out, we need to loosen it, I think. So with the rear steering arm adjusted, we could see at our measuring tapes that they are within a hair of each other. In order to get it a perfect measurement, I need both hands, and I have one hand holding the camera. So I can't really do that right now, but they are within a hair of each other. And if you look at the front wheel, it looks like it's slightly turned to the left, just ever so slightly. And the rear wheel seems to agree with that. And since both of the rear wheels are now in agreement as to what their measurements are, I think we're going to be okay. Given that this is four-wheel steering, it's like continuously variable rear steering. So it's a little bit tricky if you don't have a lot of experience doing alignments to do an alignment on a four-wheel steering Prelude. But in general, you need to just lock the rear rack and then do an alignment like you would with any other car. That is the general advice. But it's really important that you lock the rack and you use this tool correctly, because if you don't, you could end up with a situation like this where everything looks fine, measurements come out fine, but because it's slightly off one way or another, the whole car is going to drive like shit at a speed that you're not testing at because it requires you to be on the freeway. So we're going to lock this rear steering arm back up, and we're going to take it out on the road and see how it feels. We've been driving around for a few miles now, and it is much, much better. If I let go of the wheel, we do still drift a little bit to the right, and you'll also notice the steering wheel, even though we're going straight, is a little bit off to the right. The other thing that kind of gives me pause is the steering wheel is shaking a little bit, but we do have polyurethane everything and a stiff suspension, and we are on the 210 freeway in California, which if you are from Southern California, you'll know what I mean when I say this is your tax dollars hard at work. These roads are absolute trash, and just in the time that I've been driving, it's been smoothing out a little bit. It's less shaky. You see my hand still is shaking a little bit, but that might be normal. That might be normal for driving a Honda with a stiff suspension on the 210 because the roads are trash out here. So that's another thing with the drifting off to the right. That could be the road itself pulling me to the right. You see all this, junk and the cuts and all of the crap in the lane that could be pulling my tires to one side or another. That's pretty standard behavior. This car really does drive a lot more like what I think it should, like what I remember it driving for the past 25 years. We just arrived here in Riverside, and it looks like, well, they got a head start on me because they got here a lot earlier than I did. They're getting ready to drag the car up, so thankfully they were waiting for me, because if this thing snaps, that'll be great content. But it's not going to snap, it should hold. So let's take a look at what this car, well, what's happened to this car in the last year, which is, well, not much. It's gross, dude. It is so gross in here, but that can be fixed.
Yeah. This car needs a lot of love, but it's gonna get it.
Yeah.
You know, bring it back to life.
There's another Integra there that I missed.
Yeah, I haven't filmed that one yet.
That one's really clean.
Yeah.
I mean, it's dusty, but
it's clean.
So what we're going to do here first is we're going to kind of work from the bottom up. We've got the clutch secondary cylinder with the line that runs there, and then once we get that in, we're going to put the starter in, and then we've got the lower radiator hose. We don't have all of these other hoses. We don't technically need them to run the car, but getting them in before we put this stuff on is going to make our lives a lot easier. I can hear that is not torqued down, the valve cover.
And he's got a new valve cover and valve cover gasket.
Cool. EGR and the exhaust manifold, we want to put those in before we put this on. Just working bottom up. Speedo cable, that's an easy, should be. Now, that should be an easy one if we can find that fucking clip. If we don't have the clip for that, we're kind of screwed. We're going to have to use like a paper clip or something.
I think he can still, since he has to go to O'Reilly's or AutoZone, I think he might be able to get that clip over there.
Like a cotter pin or something. Oh, yeah. I remember I gave him, this is going to be a problem, the heater valve is broken on this car. I gave him the replacement. I don't know if he brought it with him. That's going to be a pain in the ass to replace.
It goes in underneath the dash and it goes in through the heater blower.
Yeah, we're going to, that might be a pain in the ass.
Might be something
we might need
later on.
We might need to bypass the heater for that.
We can do that.
Which is what we've got.
Easy to do.
This is a heater, and this is the other side of it.
You just go straight. Actually, I think it's
put my nice valve cover on it
down
now?
this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's over there.
This can also work on this side and hang the accessories. We don't need to hook up any belts, really, but just to get them on there. And of course, the exhaust manifold. Hook that up to this thing. This is going to require someone being under the car.
For sure.
I might make Ricky do it. since this is his car, we're gonna make him do the things that suck the most. Okay, this is more work than I thought it was, but it's still not that much.
It's I think between the two of us it'll go.
Yeah.
Some extra hose right here.
Okay.
Where
we can.
That goes to the back of the.
Oh yeah, I ran that because
right.
To make our lives a little easier. That goes.
That's good.
That goes. Where the fuck does that go?
I
forgot.
It goes to the T.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. It connects down here to the T thing. And then this comes up and goes into what is this? What? Oh, okay.
That's for
That's a vacuum, right? Oh, I know where it goes here. It goes down
up to
here.
the,
Okay.
to
Yeah.
the fuel.
Yeah. Goes there. Okay. And then there's an electrical there. Okay. So we're gonna get to work and we'll check back in once we have some progress made.
Step aside, don't look behind. Just walk straight, you see the light. I double dare to go this way. Try to overstay, try to intimidate. He understood, he was his fate. He tried to suffocate and got to fade away. Welcome to the other side. Welcome to the bright side. Welcome to the other side. Welcome to.
It should go in that way. Well, here she is, folks. A lot of stuff done to it. We're going to be
fire
starting it
extinguisher?
pretty soon. I know, right? And we should have a fire extinguisher. Ricky, you got a fire extinguisher just in case?
Got a hose?
All right, we'll be back when we start her up.
By the way, I just want to point out that this might be the first and only time my car has ever been used as a reference for how you should put a Honda Prelude engine compartment together. All right, enough procrastinating. Let's turn this over. Inside the car, we have Ricky pouring fuel in using what looks to be a water container. Totally don't expect the fuel to eat through that container within a few seconds. We have the ignition switch pulled off because Ricky forgot his key to this car. So that's, I promise we're not stealing it. I mean, you would be absolutely insane to try to steal it. So let's try to start this thing up. Well, we're not starting it, let's turn it. And in order to do that, I probably need a smaller screwdriver. There we go. That was a healthy crank.
That's very healthy. Nope.
No. So now, let me run it one more time and then we'll connect the coil.
No, connect the coil and then
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's probably good, right? Yep. All right, go ahead and connect the coil. So in theory, we've got oil cycled through the engine. We've got fuel primed in the system. We should be ready to start without too much effort.
go, guys.
Are you nervous? I'm nervous.
Oh, yeah.
All right, something's not happening. Fuel. I would guess fuel.
Fuel.
I didn't
Off.
hear anything. Yeah.
On. Nope.
Nothing back there.
No.
Okay. So we don't have a signal going to the fuel pump.
So.
First things first.
Yeah, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to check the fuses under the hood. And if there's any bad fuses, well, we need to find out which one's which. I have a cleaner one on my car if you need. But they all appear to be there. Jesus, that's dirty.
Yeah.
I got a box of fuses.
It could also be under the dash. Okay. Alternator fuel pump. Top row, third from the left. It's a 10 amp.
Alright. Left. 1, 2, 3. Alright, it's in there.
It's a 10 amp.
I'm gonna unplug these wires.
Do you need a needle nose?
Yes.
Okay. The thinking is that we've checked the fuse, and we in fact do have a brand new 10 amp fuse for the fuel pump. We're also checking the main relay, but we're only really checking the main relay because we have one to spare, and we also have the one off of my car if we really want to test it. Once we've ruled out the main relay, it's a little bit out of order, but once we've ruled out the main relay, we're going to check the fuel pump itself. We're going to make sure that we have continuity to the fuel pump, because if we have continuity to the fuel pump, that means that potentially the fuel pump is bad, and that means, well, that would mean that we're not starting this car up today, because that's a special order part that's going to take some time to arrive. So what we're doing right now, it's out of order. It's a little bit of a long shot, but for a car that has its original clock button cover on it, it is worth the effort. So the first thing we notice here is that this fuel cap has been messed with before, so someone has been in here. That makes me think that we're finding someone else's problem that they have looked into and potentially given up on.
What is that wire?
So if you can expose that wire, unplug that thing, we should be able to probe it and see if we're getting a signal to it.
Yep, I'm getting a reading.
You're getting something, yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting a reading there.
Okay.
So that's good.
So we're getting something from the front of the car.
But I'm not getting anything out of the pump.
We're getting an open circuit in the pump itself.
Yeah.
So that is an indicator that the pump is bad. Womp womp. Yep. I'm not giving you a donor pump because I need to go home. But also my fuel pump is buried under 100 pounds worth of stuff. So no, we're not testing this using parts off of my car, unfortunately. Let's talk a little bit about what just happened, because this is the reality that most YouTubers don't like to share. Usually when you get a car like this that's been abandoned for several years, well, if you're watching YouTube, you would think that, oh, you just do a few things with some friends and it starts up and runs and you can drive it and you can go on a road trip with it for 700 miles, no problem whatsoever. But the reality is that most of the time you're going to run into a problem like we just had, where there's a part that we're not going to be able to get today, right?
Right.
Let's talk about this for a second. So, what all did we do here? You want to walk us through it, Alex?
Let's see. We've installed the headers, downpipe, motor mounts, alternator, hoses, wiring harness, just a few little odd and ends. We've connected the distributor, timing, shift linkage, clutch linkage, and yeah, filled it full of oil.
Yeah. So this thing is otherwise ready to go. The problem we're having here is that we're not getting any fuel up to the car. And when we were cranking the starter over, we had a very healthy crank. Everything sounded really good. We just very obviously were not getting any fuel. If we were getting any fuel, even bad fuel, it would not sound like that at all.
I would start.
It would at least pop over. It would stumble over itself, even if it were getting bad fuel. But right now we're getting nothing at all, and we've confirmed that doing the correct diagnostic steps. You know, using a multimeter, connecting to the harnesses, making sure we're getting a signal. We were getting signal to the fuel pump, but the fuel pump had, when we were doing an ohm test, was reading basically open circuit. So that means that the fuel pump is not capable of doing anything. And the reality with these cars is that fuel pumps take time to obtain. And that means, unfortunately, we are not going to start this car up. That means, unfortunately, we don't have a happy ending here. We have another to be continued. But is that really that bad?
Yes, it is bad.
It is bad?
Because we all get to come together and hang out again and put our love into something that we like doing.
Really, it's bad if you need to get this car out of this yard today.
Yeah.
But it's not. But if you look around, I mean, we've got Integras, we've got other Preludes, we've got people around us, and that's the most important thing, is the community, the family, and the people that help make this all happen and keep these cars on the road. That's what matters most. And that's why to be continued is not a bad thing on this car.